I want to bevel the edges, but I'm afraid that it might all fall apart. So this is definitely not one I'm going to tackle again, at least not anytime soon.
So when I am reviewing all of the Sudsers footage for Project Soapway to prepare for making their video and talking about the awesome Sudser that won any challenge, I make a bunch of notes, right? Like while I'm listening to it, because I do listen to all of the footage, all of it, all of it. So I hear everything that happens. Anyway, I make notes and so as I'm making soap or, doing whatever, I hear something that's interesting that I want to talk about in the video or talk about here. I just jot something down, right? And in most cases, it makes sense. I can read some of it. She's listening to history on Henry VIII while she's soaping. And I love that. Like I wanted to make sure to talk about that in the video because I too listen to history and usually a lot of history on like the Tudors because I really love the Tudors. But some of the things don't make sense, right? Like I've got pulling mom duty while working, and then I have hot water maybe or dad, etc. Hot water. Point is, sometimes I cannot remember anything about anything, and also I can't read my handwriting, and so I am going to go ahead and wager a guess that we will not be talking about hot water for dad on the video, but we are kicking off another Project Soapway winner today, and that's fun. Assuming I can decipher my notes and figure out what this all means, because I really don't know. Oh, there is one thing on here that we really should talk about right now. Marissa was talking about with her husband during this video that she wants to try making a clay extruder from a caulk gun, which I find to be really cool, and that's an awesome idea. So we should all do that. But I am going to tell you about the winner of Project Soapway and probably not the hot water for dad in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for week 20 of year 3 in Project Soapway challenge number 7, I think, and winner number 2 of the Argyle challenge. And this winner actually made an Argyle soap. And when I say she made an Argyle soap, I mean she made this soap. It is unbelievable. And I got to watch all the footage for it that we were able to find because unfortunately she had some issues with some deletions and it sucked and she had to work so hard to get them back. And so the pieces that I have are just going to have to be good enough, and we'll talk about it. You know, we can guess with some of the parts. It'll be a good time. Oh, winner, by the way, is Rissa, rhymes with Melissa, from Adventures in Soap. And it's quite the adventure. Her entire process for this Argyle is so amazing, and she spent so much time on it, and I would have been losing my mind throughout the entire process. But nay, not her. She was just sitting there hanging out, being a mom, right? She's being a mom, and she's listening to the children doing the things and, still on mom duty. She's talking with her husband about work and life and all of the things. She's talking about clay extruders and something about hot water for dad. I don't know about that. Anyway, point is, she just did the damn thing and didn't complain. I would have been complaining. This is such a long process. She put so much effort into this, and she did the proper Argyle, which I now know, now after I needed to know it, that an Argyle is a diamond pattern in the soap. She did that. She created diamonds. It's a 2-day pour, technically speaking, but I guarantee it took her way longer than that to do this. So let's get to the video and we can watch her amazing process and talk all about it and ooh and ah. And we can all get like hashtag soap goals from a very new soap maker because she's only been at this for about a year. So let's go do all of that, while watching her soap because it's amazing. Okay, so up today on Project Soapway Challenge, the Argyle Challenge, we have Adventures in Soap, otherwise known as Rissa, which rhymes with Melissa. That's how you remember it. And what an adventure we are going to go on today. And yes, I understand that I already made that joke, but it's funny. And when something is funny, I really drive it into the ground. But today we are looking at Rissa's footage, which was wildly long, and also it had been, like she had some problems with it. She lost it, and then she was able to recover it. And the stuff that I was sent is not all of it. So you did not see the green bit of all of this. And maybe in the green bit of all of this, she told us what colors she used as well as the scent that she used. And I don't have that information because I don't have that footage, and it's okay because she had so much to choose from, so it's all good. So I'm going to just go ahead and guess, and I'm going to say that that green layer is Let Us Entertain You, and that one is on the thing there, and I'm going to say it's Lemon Cupcake, or maybe Banana Split, or maybe I can read it. No, I'm pretty sure it's Banana Split, or maybe Bright Yellow Raincoat. Anyway, it's one of them from Mad Micah's as well, because we saw the bag. And I'm going to say the blue was, let's go with Key West blue. I think I'm wrong on all three of those. Anyway, I also don't know what scent it is, so I'm going to say it is lettuce and ocean. She'll tell us in the comments. I'm just being funny. But what we are doing here in the first little bit of this is not a little bit at all. It is actually the kind of point of this entire challenge, really. It's massive amounts of prep work. So much prep. And that is prep for a normal person. And Rissa is not exactly what I would describe as a normal person because she likes to take every challenge and, take it to 11. And I love that about her. So we've basically, I think, decided and, understood with all of these videos so far, this is a 2-day pour because of the embeds that you need to do in order to create your Argyle. And so this is what we are looking at right now. Her first part of all of the prep, and that is getting her layers ready to go. So getting her embeds ready. And so she will be pouring the blue on top of the green and the yellow on top of that in different amounts. And I'm not sure why different amounts, because I've seen the end product, and actually to that, so have you, because you've seen the thumbnail, and I don't know why for the different amounts, because it looks like all of the little Argyle diamonds end up being the exact same size. So maybe she was just doing this, she just split her existing soap batch that she had the measurements for into 3 parts, but you could still do that with 3 equal parts. I am not sure, but I'm here for it regardless, and the end bar I think ends up being really, really cute, so maybe that's why she did it, so all the stuff that she didn't use for this soap she could just sell as just the bars themselves. I don't know. I will be going and checking out her website to see what she's been up to, and we'll see if maybe that's what this actually is. But so, again, prep work, lots of prep work, Argyle Challenge, lots of Argyle Challenge, and what we are doing with this is actually a proper Argyle, whereas that was the brief, that's what I said, right? I said that this Project Soapway Challenge was an Argyle soap, But then I showed pictures of what I now know to be a plaid because I looked it up, you know? And I got yesterday with Our Twisted Tree, she did a plaid soap. Like she did the pictures that I put on the thing, which is cool. And Rissa did the proper Argyle. Like she did the thing this way. And so yeah, I think all of the soaps that ended up for the Project Soapway, they all end up being different. And I love that because basically when I realized that I'd said Argyle and it was actually a plaid or, you know, whatever, I just decided, well, hey, whatever is submitted, we're going to choose from those because I think that that totally works. Everybody did, you know, lots of cool stuff. Seriously, I had some houndstooth patterns. It was really cool. But this one, see what I mean about how they're different? I guess the green is 50% of the batch and the yellow and the blue are the same size at 25%, looks like. So we are now on to day 2, which is going to be her chunking all of this out and then separating them by color. And generally this is actually a great way to do this for sure. It's kind of what I had in mind for mine, but I did it a lot different in that I only made enough for just the 4 bars that I was making because I've never done this and I knew it was going to be a lot of work and I had no desire to make a full batch, like for sure. But, and 2, I didn't pour straight lines and so I was never going to be able to actually chunk it out in any kind of way that made any sense. But she's doing it right. She's got her measuring tools out. She's got her really cool soap cutter going on and she is measuring all of this appropriately so she can get all of the different pieces that she needs to create her embeds. And did her background change since the last video? Her background looks a lot like mine these days, and I don't remember it looking like this before. Like the thing that her table. That's cool. I love it. It's really nice for sure. But speaking up, because I am saying, hey, did she change the background? How would I know that? Well, as I said before, you know, when you had to look at my face thing, this is the second win for Adventures in Soap. And so I've seen footage from her before. I am familiar with her work. And it's always fun when somebody wins another soap challenge because I get to see all kinds of cool things, right? Obviously, I get to see the soap making process getting more evolved, which is super fun, but also the filming process and the setup and the tools, the new tools that they use and all the things. And it's delightful. I like seeing that. I think hers was the end of year, the year in review that she won. And so, yeah, that's cool. And also, is she coconut free? We're going to go onto her website. We're going to check it all out because everybody is really kind of running together in my brain right now. But also, I'm really distracted because I'm just watching the beautiful cutting of these soaps and I'm loving how clean she got all of her lines, that there's barely any color transfer from one block to the next on that. That is absolutely delightful. She's very precise. She is wonderful. And throughout all of this, when she was doing her pours and, you know, well, for this part, well, for all of it, really, she's very meticulous and she's doing this all really patiently and whatnot. But you can hear her kids playing in the background and she's parenting, you know, like there was a period when she was doing her pours and working on her stuff and she kind of calls over to one of her kids and she's like, did you hear that timer go off? Does that mean it's time to get off of the iPad? It was delightful. And, you know, I said it yesterday, but it's nice to see signs of life around soap because I know that the whole thing is we're not supposed to really have signs of life, like keep your kids and your pets and everything out of the way while you're making soap. But that's not reality for a whole lot of soap makers. You can't really devote time to nothing but soap. You're going to have to live the life too. And I personally love to see it. Let's go check out the assembly of this. Okay, and on to the assembly. Now, here's the part where I'm a bit confused, right? Because we just watched her chunk it out, and I don't have any footage for how she took those logs that she had chunked out and cut them into these perfect little diamond patterns, which, as we know, is required for an Argyle. They're diamond patterns, and she is doing the most with choosing the perfect one to go all together like this to make sure they're all going to fit before she, pours the soap. So that's incredible. But so I'm going to assume she then just took the chunks that she made and then just cut them to, let's say, 1/4 of an inch or whatever size she determined on. And, oh, now we're going to paint them together. So what do you think she's using? I love this. I love that I don't actually have any context for most of this because either the footage not recoverable or because she talked throughout all of this. Like in this particular part, she was chit-chatting with her husband about, life and work and all of the things. So she was talking. She just wasn't really talking to me. And again, I am wondering if maybe that was in the first part. Wait, hold on. She sent me something. Let me see. Okay, nobody panic. She is, this is Rissa. Of course she sent me information. I am just me, and I forgot about it until this exact moment. And I am not going to go and re-record. But, you see the thing that she did with the basic pattern that she's going off of there. So that's what she's doing all throughout that soap, guys. All throughout that soap. That's what she's doing. Oh, wow. That is so much work. She has 2 diamonds done. Yep. This footage was incredibly long. And as I said, and as I also said, we were not able to recover all of them. And that's actually what the first paragraph of this thing that she sent me through says. And it's so sad because she's actually talking about issues with, losing footage and stuff before for other reasons, like photos from probably, I'm going to assume family photos because those are irreplaceable, but that sucks. But I do have more information about the parts that we lost. And also it does confirm that the things that I don't have are I'm not meant to have. But we do have more information. It looks like, I'm going to go ahead and quote from this letter because, it's delightful. While she does this incredibly precise putting together of the diamonds, she says, quote, I used the basic idea I got watching Lisa from My Dream and Soap for her buffalo plaid soap. See, now I'm more confused. Okay. The complication came in how to make the diamond pattern. That took some trying. I eventually came up with something after drawing things out on paper, but not having a way to cut them uniformly. The pieces were different sizes. I wanted to show you all of her scraps. That's a lot of scraps there. That I then had to work around when assembling. I don't know why I said quote. Like, is that the dumbest thing in the world? I said quote, and then I'm just interjecting every third word. I'm sorry. None of this is her quote. And the quote. No, but I'm going to start reading again, though. Okay? So I guess re-quote? Okay. Looks like I had cut the size and shape I wanted out of paper and taped it to my soap cutter. So most of them were close but not exact. Okay, that's fun. I love that. Okay. I used water like glue to put the pieces together. Also, good idea. Originally, I had planned to use a bigger mold, but it was taking so long to assemble the color bits that I had to swap it out for a smaller mold because I was running short on time. I get that. I get that completely. And then there's this. So she doesn't talk about this, but look what she's doing. She's taking all of the wet soap, because this is freshly, poured soap, so it's probably a day or so old. It's still very soft. It's malleable. And she is smoothing everything together to ensure that the next round, the pouring of her fluid batter over all these embeds are not going to seep in between the cracks. As I said, she is absolutely doing the most. I am just... I am so shooketh with all of this. This is wild. Look at this. But also, does this make you maybe want to try it? Like, I know she said in the little teaser thing that I put in the very beginning that she's not going to be trying this anytime soon. But just looking at this and how, I don't know, precise it is, it's really cool. And also, see the difference between what she does with the smoothing it out and what's currently in the mold, which she will be smoothing out. Yeah, it's going to make a huge difference. So it's the difference between having an actual proper diamond that, does its thing or not. And so I get why she's doing it. And also because she's doing it to this level, I really kind of want to do it now too. I want to try. I mean, I will try in my brain, but I won't actually do this because that's a lot. And it looks like once she had the colored portions done, she mixed some white soap batter and poured it into the bottom of the mold to hold the colored portions in place. Smart. I had them just in the mold as I was putting together the colored parts, but that was more right. Got it. The white portion I mixed and mixed knowing I needed it to be thick enough to hold the embeds, but I went a little overboard and it was a touch too thick, so I couldn't move the embeds over like I was hoping. Got it. Okay, cool. Now, because I don't actually have any of the pouring of the white around all of this, I have all of this, which is great and freaking amazing. Like, you're welcome for this. I didn't do anything. So Rissa would be saying, you're welcome, because this is incredible. And then, yeah, so all weekend it looks like. Took all weekend and most of Monday. So she basically spent 3 days on this, which is wild. And you can tell because her sleeve length has changed a couple times in all of this. And then she didn't have the right wire to do the cutting. You went around the house and found some fishing line. Well, that's smart. That's very resourceful of you to do the proper cutting. The fishing line stretched when I was trying to cut off the top. Finally did get it to work. Next day I went to a local music shop and got wire and guitar keys. Wowie, wow. Like I said, this is an adventure in soap. End quote. Anyway, we are now on to the unmolding of this. As I said, I did not get any footage for the actual pouring of the soap batter, but she just explained it really well, and there's not a lot to it. She made some white soap batter and, poured it. And it was a little bit too thick for her to move her actual embeds around to make sure it was a perfect, whatever. But I already see perfection. I also find this interesting that she assembled this from the top down, right? So she will be cutting this horizontally and not vertically if you're looking at it at this angle to achieve her pattern. So she'll be doing the planing off of the top, which again sounds like she didn't have the right stuff and she had to go get it. That's so much. And you've made changes to your cutter so you can do that. Since that's so, oh, right, because it wouldn't cut on your cutter because your cutter is made for the logs for this width, right? So if you have to turn it over to cut it the other way, yeah, it's not going to work. What a disaster. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, this sounds super wild. The dedication to this, I don't know that I would have kept going. I would have kept going, but it's just super incredible. I love this. The soap itself is absolutely delightful. It's looking great so far. And from what I can see on the top, this is going to be a gorgeous soap. And we know that it's a gorgeous soap because, we've seen it. We saw it in the thumbnail. But just knowing the amount of work that goes into it, and then she's not done. She's not done. She's going to go ahead and perfect them all by taking more of the soap dough. Well, essentially it's soap dough now. And filling in all of these holes. You know what I do when I need to fill in holes? I take that wet soap dough and I take it and I just run it across the side. And so whatever color ends up wherever is where it ends up. And you know what Rissa does? The right thing. She makes sure that the yellow is with the yellow and the green is with the green and etc. and so forth. That's freaking delightful. This woman. In case you have not seen her first video, she started making soap in 2022. Okay? She's a baby soaper. The skills that she has, the talent that she has shown us, and obviously not just us, because you can go to her website, which is delightful. I highly, highly recommend it, and see all the gorgeous soaps that she's made. Absolutely incredible. I actually went and bought some because they look awesome. And also she has some that are on sale, like Final Call from the Christmas line. And I am that kind of person that likes to go to other soap makers, and I don't want to buy them because it's like on sale. That's not the point. I want to try to do my best to get the soaps out of your inventory so you have room to make more soap, because if you don't have that room, you start stressing out that you can't do the next design that you really want to do. This is so wild. You are, oh my gosh, you are just a delight. I know that we have similar upbringings from some stuff that the soap mod kind of confirmed for me. And so I knew that there was a reason why I sort of felt like you were one of my, kindred spirits, but you're not my kindred spirit in this way. The patience and the dedication that you have to making a perfect bar of soap is unbelievable and unmatched. And this is obviously why you won this Project Soapway Challenge. And knowing what you put into it, the work that went into it, I quite frankly would be super sad if you hadn't won. But, of course you did, because you did all of this. And so, I mean, thank you for having done that and shared that with us. And I'm sorry you went on such a crazy journey. But everybody, go follow Rissa, Adventures in Soap. Go do all the fun things. Go buy some soap. Go enjoy all the things. I don't know if this is on the website as of, right now, like when you're hearing it, but it's currently not now. But it might be at the premiere. So check it out. Holy crap, that was amazing. It's just everything about that was just so beautiful. And actually, weirdly, it made me want to try this, like the way that she did it. She hooked me when I started seeing her like actually squish all the diamonds together. I was like, oh, wow, I want to try it. But I want to try it in making the diamonds and making sure they stay together, but also not, and seeing what happens if the soap batter comes in between them. Because that could be fun too. But 10 out of 10 for all of that. And like I said, when I checked her website, this particular soap wasn't on it, but she might be holding this soap for sale for the premiere of this video. Or she might not have them available for sale at all because she made, looks like 4. She probably doesn't want to put in the work to, put it on the website. I wouldn't want to put in that work, is my point. So maybe they're not going to be available, but go over to her website regardless and check out all of her beautiful products. I went and bought some stuff because it's amazing. So go do that. And yeah, follow her on all of the socials, do the things because she's amazing. Adventures in Soaps rocked. She totally nailed this. Well done, Rissa. I appreciate all of the work that you put into these things. I appreciate you as a human. I really enjoy being able to listen to your footage and your content and see your life through all of this. And I love that. I dig that. I understand why you're fast becoming one of my people. So thank you for all of this. Sudzers, you know the drill. Go do the things. Go follow her on all of her socials. Go check out her website. Do all the things. This is a very talented soap maker, and I am, for one, very glad that she is a part of the Sudzer community. Thank you so much for the Sudzers, for being a part of the Project Soapway Challenges, for supporting your fellow makers, for just being awesome in general. And for those of you who are not Sudzers, I mean, hi, that's cool. Thanks for being here. I'm out of here. I am going to go maybe plan out my Argyle, my diamond soap. And I will see you guys all again tomorrow for the 3rd and final winner of Project Soapway Argyle Challenge. Soapy fun. Bye. Seriously, what does all this mean? Oh my God. How do I put something white in my shot? That fixes my lighting. Oh my God. Okay, can I just hold it back there? Just, where does it go?